Good evening, lovely tubers. My name is the White Mexican, and welcome to Market Watch Investments. I have a plethora of cards I'll be showcasing for you guys tonight. I do hope that you will enjoy. Getting things kickstarted tonight is going to be Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon. This is the original secret rare variant starting from Shining Victories. This card has been articulating some interesting price value. We can see starting market price for lightly played first edition is going to be about 12 bones plus for onesie twosie stacks, and it trickles up after that. If you guys are curious for bulk prices, we'll go ahead and switch that over. And it looks like there's apparently only one stack here for 25 plus bone shipping. Now there is a mirrored secret rare variant from Battles of Legend, which is going right around 8 or so. So there's also super from OTS 13, which is roughly around a bone less or so, giving these preview prices for the mirrored secret rare print. And other than that, there's a disgusting ultra rare. If you just hate yourself, you might as well just probably pick up that. So interesting enough. Ancient Gear Ballista is going to be next. This is yet another infamous solo print, unfortunate ultra rare from Dual Power for all you machine lovers out there. And this is going for some pretty good value. Starting market price for this is going to be about 6 plus. And there are a couple stacks here available for a Phantom under 7. So if you guys need this card, kind of good luck with that. If not, sell it. I would definitely say, if you're not using this card, this is a really good sell target. Next is going to be AntiSpell Fragrance. This is the super rare variant starting from OTS Pack 1. Super nostalgic, really old, really great stuff. Looking at bulk prices for this, starting market price is going to be roughly around 4 bones, but then you have like these pretty crazy shipping prices right here. So be aware of that. Again, this is going to be something that you're going to want to play as a playset. It's going to be a side card, primarily for game 2 if you're going first, or game 3 if you're going first. Just another really great floodgate. Now there are prismatic secrets from the extremely old, very nostalgic game promos, which are pretty pricey but very aesthetically pleasing. There's also the original dual terminal for rares, not the Hidden Arsenal Chapter 1 reprint stuff. Some random commons and rares, and Gag Me on a Spoon ultras, but the prismatics are really nice. I have several of these myself. I have one European German one, which is pretty cool too. I think because this card is so old, I think it's acceptable for playability purposes to go ahead and just use mod play for this. It's really not a big of a deal. I mean, you're going for aesthetics. No one's gonna really like take your card to the sleeve. They're not gonna notice that it's modally played. It's totally fine. You just want a nice, crisp, prismatic secret rare, which is Cauldron here, then you can just go ahead and work with mod play. But prices are pretty variant. You can see starting market price here for English copies is 12 bones plus, even for onesie twosies of mod play. Again, this is definitely, if you're playing this card, you're playing at 3, and it's primarily a side deck card. Some people main them, but for me personally, it's more of a whatever game that you're going first kind of card to side in. And quickly we can see that bulk prices for the prismatics are starting market price of 23, and that is for moderately played. So again, those super rare play sets are looking pretty fine right now. Next is going to be Galaxy Soldier. Galaxy Soldier is I know this is used in, I feel like this card is used more in Cyber Dragons than the actual Galaxy variant decks. Every time I see this card, I just think of Cyber End Infinity, Dragon, whatever that card is, like Doom on a stick. That's instantly where my mind goes when I think about this. I think this is the nicest rarity of this card, being out of a really old super subset as a prismatic secret rare. Really great stuff. I've seen this card go all the way up to like 20 bones a pop, 15-20 bones. That's peak prices. Now it's down to about 6 plus, and this is for stacks, first edition stacks here. There's a stack here for 6, and that goes to 7 for 8. So not too terrible. I mean, I would be more comfortable paying around 5.4 for this. But again, when random cyber dragons like to kind of, you know, come out of their rocks and, you know, flex a little bit, this card seems to be going up. And I don't know, random cards that can, it's just, I don't really know what else to say about this, but this is really the only other option, because the other options are just really not that great. I mean, there's 2 crappy subset reprint ultras that, I mean, it's shameful, purely embarrassing. Actually 3, and literally like Dupo, Battles of Legends Light Revenge is kind of okay, because like that was the very first Battles of Legends, so it's kind of got some history merit to it. Dupo was like the first to do the whole ultra rare exclusive, which is terrible, but it was like the first of the reprints back in that day. The game was just unheard of for the crazy reprints for this set. And then there's Ghost of the Trash, which is literally the worst of a lot of them. So again, the Prismatic Seeker is pretty much going to be your only option if you don't want to hate your life. Blacklist Soldier is going to be next. This is the ultimate rare variant spawning out of OTS 17. Now there are secret rare variants, and there's also a ghost rare variant. I think the ghost looks nice, but personally I just like the ultimate better. I naturally like ghost rares better than ultimate rares, but for this particular card I think that I aesthetically am more drawn to the ulti over the ghost. Now I think this is an amazing generic rank 3 or link 3 card. It's got really great artwork. I think there's some great collectability behind this, being that it is BLS itself. This is just a link I haven't really taken into consideration for a long time. I had to hunt pretty hard here locally to pick up my ultimate rare copy. I'm super happy that I was able to get one in a trade instead of paying full price, because this card is pretty pricey. Well, maybe not too pricey. I was saying, sorry, my price is like almost like 60 bones. That's really not. It's actually like 33, 35 for lightly played near mitts for this. So if for some reason you need a playset, apparently that could potentially be a thing. Apologies, we're having some technical difficulties here. But ideally, you're just gonna get one nice copy, you know, get a ghost, get a first edition secret, get an ultimate rare, and then you're good, you're set. You can just slap it around all the different decks and variants that you guys want to play, and it'll be fine. For some reason, it is not letting me redo that. So there's a first edition secret, I think it was from a Battles of Legends or something like that, and then there's the ghost from Ghost of the Trash. So completely up to you guys on that one. Eradicator Epidemic Virus is going to be next. This is still a very big threat. This card is just a devastating card, and I feel like a lot of people are forgetting about this. The requirements of this: 1 dark with 2500 or more attack is just insurmountable. This is so easy to proc off. Pretty much almost any deck can play this card, and it is just completely devastating. This is a really good card, and it still is at 3. I don't think anyone has really played 3. I mean, I think the most I've seen people play is maybe even 2, and even then that's kind of, it all just depends on the matchup. But again, an amazing side card. There's a lot of crazy magic cards out there, and this completely just locks them out, or trap cards as well. Really cool artwork. I really think this is the only like logical choice. These are the super rares out of the special edition from the Dual Genesis, a really old 5Ds I believe set, really infamous, great history merit. Starting market price for bulk prices for this for lightly played is roughly going to be around 4 bones, 4 to 5 all across the board, which is not that bad. I think this went all the way up to 10 a couple formats ago, like 1 or 2 formats ago, and this card was pretty good money. I think the highest it ever went, I think, was 15, if I'm not mistaken. But again, it used to be around a bone to 2 bones, so it's still not quite there, but it has calmed down quite a lot. And again, this really is the only suitable choice, because the other variants are just peasant commons that, you know, you don't. And then of course there's the original secret rares, but they're from Force the Breaker, which is extremely old, and they're very pricey, really fat heavy price tags. And then there's a disgusting ultra rare that you would just, you know, probably ruin your moral character if you put that in your 40 card deck. Next is going to be Tour Guide from the Underworld. This is Astral Pack 6, an extremely old set, an extremely old, great dark amazingness here. I love Tour Guide, and there was one time I had a playset of these, and at the time, like a long time ago, I sold them. I think I sold them for a 90 each, like 90 each X3, because it was a playset, and they look really good. This photo doesn't really give this card justice. They're not as dark. They are very, very dark. It is an extremely dark ultimate rare, which I don't like. They still look really nice. I still want a playset again, but this is one of those ultimate rares where it's just so dark that I really think it takes away from the artwork, and Tour Guide is like one of my all-time favorite, like, waifu anime girls, waifu tax, whatever you want to call it, cutesy cards. Really good stuff. And this, it kind of just takes away from the artwork. So personally, I like the original Extreme Victory first edition secrets. Those are really what I bulk up as far as collectability purposes, but I will admit that the ultimate rares do look nice too, but I really have to say that they take second place backseat to the secret rares for first editions exclusively. Apparently starting market price for these for English copies is going to be roughly around a Phantom under $2, about 182 or so. But what I'm more concerned about is play sets, because again, no one's going to be satisfied with just one, having just one Tour Guide, unless this is, as it should, being slapped into two different sleeves, a small sleeve, then a big sleeve, and then into a top loader just to look at and be pretty. Like, that's great. But if you are one of those crazy players that likes to play all kinds of ungodly costly cardboard, then you're definitely going to want a playset of this, and it's going to cost you like $2 plus per, and that's pretty much where they're going to start, around about 210, fraction under 210 for first skill playsets. Not too terribly, seeing that's extremely old Tour Guide, and it's again very, very old, very hard to get. Anyway, I like the secrets personally. Next is going to be Different Dimension Ground. This is another really great just turn off card. This and Dimensional Barrier are just like turn enders. They're board breakers. They're really, really good. They really clog up your opponent's play during their turn, and I just think it's got DD Warrior later. She's doing like this like pimp slash, and like this guy's getting like thrown into like a chaos pool. I don't really know. Looks super badass, and this is the original print. They're gorgeous super rares from a very infamous set, Star Strike Blast, and bull prices are starting at a Phantom under 4 bones, roughly around 3 bones, and goes to about 5 bones. There's some pretty good options here. There's 11 stack, 3, 4, 6. And this card's super great. There are other variants, but they're all disgusting, so you definitely want to get this variant. Forbidden Chalice is going to be next. Now, I believe the original core set had an ultimate rare and an ultra of this. These are the OTS 19 super rares. OTS 19 wasn't so long ago, so these are still really good in circulation. A lot of people have these. I've seen a lot of people, even in my locals, like throwing these away. Just no one wants these. Just like Trap Eater. Trap Eater is another really good, relatively new OTS super that just no one cares about, that I think has really great potential. I primarily have used this really only in Sprite. That is only the deck that I've personally played within the last, like, since this OTS pack came out, and it's pretty good in that specific deck. I don't know if people have much room for this in other decks. I'm sure they could. This is basically like an extra Imperm if it's on your turn or if you're setting it. Not as good as Imperm, but it's basically like proccing Imperm at 2 playsets in your deck. Really, really cool stuff. The best thing about this is it's just insanely affordable. I mean, both prices all across the board are a bone plus. And I just really think that people are just not really taking this card serious. Really great card, really awesome utility, and great artwork. Next is going to be Heavy Storm. There's a lot of really cool variants of this. This, of course, is a very old Gen 1 ban card. People that think we were going to get Harpy's Feather Duster back, we got it. You know, there's been a lot of crazy things that have come on and off the ban list. You really, really never know. In White Mexican Theory, it's not a matter of if it comes off the list, it's a matter of when it comes off the forbidden list, ban list. And this card is just a blowout card. It's really, really good. I mean, we have Regeki at 3, we have Dark Hole at 3, we have, again, like stuff like Evenly Matched and Harpy's Feather Duster, this card and Giant Trinade are like some of the very few like original like Triarchy cards that have just like, you know, been on the list for so long. This more specifically because it's coming on and off the list, I think twice if I'm not mistaken, throughout the years. But really great stuff. And again, it's off season. We just had a ban list. Prices are really starting to go down from like the disappointment of X, Y, and Z not getting unbanned or whatever have you. And it's just a really great time to pick up the banned cards. Maybe not quite because it's been so soon. Maybe a couple more weeks from now would even be better prices, but still, the hype is really dying down for banned cards, and it's an amazing time to bulk buy. Not every variant though. I think personally, I really only like the original supers if it has the magic stamp. Now the trick to that is Metal Raiders, you can't really tell when you're buying on the online platform. You can't specifically say, like there's this variant right here, it says Metal Raider Super Rare MRD. And ideally, yeah, you would think if it's just MRD 142, if that's the actual set print, then yes, you're going to get a magic stamp. But unfortunately, there were several reprints throughout the years of Metal Raiders, and you can't tell online unless it's like eBay or something and you're actually like seeing a physical listing, or if someone procs a photo here, which people don't really do unless it's a foreign copy. You don't really know if you're getting a spell or a magic. I personally don't like that. I've kind of rolled the dice and I've purchased multiple of these very, very affordable, and the majority of them fortunately were magic cards, so like that was really good for me. I mean, they're unlimited magic cards, but still they were magic cards. Some of them were spell unfortunately, and when Edison got super popular, I just procced those off to, you know, local Edison players because, you know, they all wanted a hollow variant of Heavy Storm. And I don't keep the spell variants, but the magic stamps, I think they're very nostalgic. You know, it's a lot of history merit, really, really great stuff. Of course, the original, the first edition originals are just, you know, they're collector's cards. They're insanely old. They have the magic stamp and the first edition, so there's pretty much everything under the sun going for them. I really do like the Gen 1 2008 Gold Series. Again, it's just like a honey tint. These are kind of expensive now, but those look very, very nice as well. And then there's also the Hobby League 2. It's like this Parallel Ultra, which is super good. You can see those are pretty expensive as well. The Dark Beginnings 2 Super Rares, those ones are cool because they're Dark Beginnings, but again, they all are going to have the spell stamp instead of the magic stamp, so that kind of ruins it for me. And then there's of course the Legendary Collections 3 and 4. Unfortunately, they are ultra rares, but they are very, very kind of forgiven because they are Legendary Collections 3 and 4. I have nothing but praise for these sets. Yes, even the ultra rares look just completely gorgeous in this set. The secrets, the supers, they all look great. And I just have a really, you know, a really big place for collecting specifically in those sets. But really, that's pretty much it, honestly. So just be really, really careful about this. But this is definitely a card that I know myself personally, like I have a lot of Heavy Storms and I'm not stopping. I'm bulk collecting Heavy Storm because it will come back eventually. Next is going to be Solemn Strike. So Solemn Strike is something I feel like players don't really expect. They're not really worried about. They're not really thinking about this card anymore. This may just be me and kind of my purple card mindset, always thinking about, you know, some crazy trap cards to play. But I feel like a lot of players are not respecting this card. Again, they're not really expecting it. This is a great counter trap. One of probably the most diverse. I mean, Solemn Judgment arguably is the most diverse Solemn card counter trap. But this still, it can stop a summon, it can stop a monster effect, it's a counter trap, it's part of the Solemn Brigade. It's really, really good. The thing with this card, yes, the OTS 4 alties, they again, this was another altie that came off too dark. I think it takes away from the artwork, and all the Solemn cards have really cool artwork. So would it be nice to have the altie? Yeah, but it has a really heavy price tag, and it's just, it's not really I can't really think of the word, but it's not really like effective. Like if you're gonna do anything, like yeah, if you want to flex, just get yourself a first edition secret. It looks gorgeous, it's nice, it's the original print, and it's not that expensive. I really don't understand why someone wants to pay a bone to a bone 0.5 on an altie that's just going to become lightly played in their deck. But again, to each their own. I understand everyone has different kind of priorities. That's just some white Mexican theory for you. I personally have the mirrored 2016 Megaton first edition secret rare variants. Those are what I run in my trap decks. If you're not going to get these, there's also the Code of the Duelist special edition super rares. Now, I know a lot of people aren't like me, say, you know, I don't like super rare. I don't like super rare. Well, there's something about like hand traps and certain traps I think that just look immaculate and super rare. So, and the best thing is this is so affordable. It's still a holofoil. It's fine. You're playing it. It's gonna come lightly played. It's really not that big of a deal. But for time purposes, I just wanted to go through the original prints really quick, see if there are what kind of price variants are for the original first edition secrets from Bosch. If the internet is gonna let me, I guess the internet is gonna be kind of not working maybe, so all right, well, I don't know what's going on with that, so apologies. We'll have to cover that another day. But anyway, I think they should be under 10 bones a pop for first edition secrets, at least slightly played anyway. Graceful Charity is going to be next, specifically the starter deck Pegasus for first edition near mints. There really is not that many. I feel like the last 3-5 years, this is really been disappearing off the market. Interesting about this, the first print of this was one of the very few cards that it first dawned in a starter deck, part of the Generation 1. You had starter deck Yugioh, starter deck Kaiba, starter deck Joey, and starter deck Pegasus. So the second wave of Gen 1 starter decks. And this wasn't even in a core set. This originally dawned from a starter deck, which is really cool history merit. A lot of really great collectability value behind that for this. We can see the first near mint first edition copy is going to be about 7+, and then it trickles up to about a Phantom under 10, and then goes to almost 20 bones after that. There is a stack here for 7 is the first stack for, again, Phantom under 20 bones. So this is kind of gone as far as getting a good deal on first edition near mint copies. If we crack into lightly played, it's going to go down to 5-ish, 6 range. And then if we switch over to bulk prices for lightly played first editions, there is a stack here, a one play set for Phantom under 6, but there's that weird shipping right here, then it instantly jumps again into a Phantom under 20. So really interesting. One of my all-time favorite cards for artwork. Obviously this and Pot of Greed are infamous for the best draw cards in the entire game, just completely ridiculous. There are other variants that are really cool. I think that is the best because, again, it's the original print and it has magic card, not spell card, which is really awesome. The parallel ultra rares from Hobby League 4 are really nice too, but they're pretty pricey, and be careful because there's card stock, it's upper deck, and just super thick, and for some echelons, a higher tournament play, you're not allowed to use these. Just be aware that it's more of like just to sit there and look pretty collector's card. And then, of course, there's the Legendary Collection 3 Yugioh's World First Edition Secrets, which are pretty pricey as well. I personally have all 3 of these variants. I think they all look really gorgeous. The Dark Legends ones are kind of cool too, just because that's kind of like an obscure older set. But again, I don't think there's really that too many in that print because that was like one of the first subsets and it was like really old. So today, if I'm not mistaken, we got the set release of the next Battles of Legends super set, and I must say, I think that there's some really cool things that they did. That the way that they just did like the quarter century rares mixed in. I know the last like Crystal Revenge had Starlights. I thought that was really cool that they had a little mini selection of Starlights that they mixed in. They're basically doing the same thing as what it seems like with these quarter century secret rares. The choices are kind of lackluster. I mean, Zeus already had a Starlight rare, so I mean, I thought that was very redundant, repetitive. I didn't think that was a good choice. I think IP has a Starlight rare as well, if I'm not mistaken. Like, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I believe that it does as well. Dad is cool. This card is super cool. This is the Hydra card, the Hydra Fusion. And I don't think this is going to load. It has a really cool effect. Kind of hard to get out because you need to fuse, I think, 3 different monsters from the extra deck or something like that. But really cool card. Really cool effect and just really cool artwork. It's a water fusion too, which is really awesome. As far as the secrets, I think it's cool that they did I forget whatever this card is, but it's pretty popular. It got a secret rare, a mirrored reprint. Nessie got a secret rare mirrored reprint. I'm an avid Dark World player, so that's really exciting. I mean, I think I already have 2 playsets of Nessie of the original Horizons, but this is really cool. This is, you know, a well accepted reprint. I would totally like accept a mirrored secret first reprint. These are really cool. These are like chaos cards. One of them is a quick play. The other one is like, I think this one's really crazy too. I think this one is, they're both really good, honestly. I think they're really, really great from light and dark support. You know, there's always a lot of great stuff that comes out of light and dark monsters. The adventure stuff, sure. I mean, I personally hate the adventure package. I think it's very, very annoying, and I just don't like it. I've never played it. I play against it a lot in my locals and actually get my butt kicked a lot to it, so maybe that's just me being biased because I lose to it a lot. But I think it's really cool that they did another secret super poly. I mean, I know this is like the millionth secret rare. I think this is like the 4th or 5th secret rare variant that we have of super poly, but I'll take it. I mean, I need one more super poly myself. I'm specifically looking for the Legendary Collections 2 first edition secrets because I already have 2, so that's just is gonna trickle super poly down hopefully a little bit. We already had secret dark hole and secret terraforming, but these are really great staple cards that I welcome secret reprints because they're great cards and it's nice. Secret are like one of my favorite rarities. Book of Eclipse, I believe this is. Secret rare, really cool. Engage got like some kind of alternative art, pretty cool for, you know, good for them striker players, you know. And then Berserker, really cool, great generic. Busted Synchro, another standard secret to go for the prismatic secrets, really, really awesome. And then we get down to the ultra rares. And I must say, I'm a huge zombie player, or zombie fan in general. So this, the princess and the dragon look pretty cool. Kind of, I think the princess has a better effect than the dragon one. I was really disappointed with the ghost fusion. I thought it would be like way more versatile, but it's not. How you have to fuse, I think, with monsters you specifically control, or I think you can banish one from the deck, which is kind of nice. But anyway, it's kind of lackluster to me. The princess one is the best, I think. And then Baldrake, I mean, that's cool that we got a holofoil, but they should have definitely made it a secret. Originally, it should have been a super rare, honestly, in the original set, but we got a holofoil, so kind of whatever on that. One thing I'm kind of frustrated about, though, is they made Carrot and Smashers. I'm a big time Sprite fan. They made them ultra rares, so it's kind of like the duality behind it. Like, I'm happy we got holofoils, so we don't have to play with peasant commons anymore, but the slap in the face, the sheer audacity of Konami to take my deck and slap them with gold lettering and make them ultra rares is just completely unforgivable. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. If you've enjoyed this video, please consider sharing it with someone that you believe will also enjoy it. I hope you guys are making some fantastic Yu-Gi-Oh! Investments yourself. This has been a showcasing by The White Mexican, and I'll see you in the next video.